Hey, this is the video for IMPACT.3, so go ahead and set up a new entry in your Cornell notes. Remember to start a new page for this video. Also check out our essential vocabulary. Today we will be discussing acid precipitation and ozone depletion. Again, recall that this is the acronym HIPCO, and these are all of the factors that are contributing to biodiversity loss. Biodiversity loss is just a fancy way of saying it's bad for the environment. Today, this is predominantly related to habitat destruction, habitat loss, and pollution. So acid precipitation is just like it sounds. It is the low pH just means acidic, the low pH precipitation that's caused by reaction between water and sulfur from coal combustion. So we see acid precipitation in New York State, we see it in Pennsylvania, we see it in New England. Typically around the Great Lakes, there is a lot of generation of electricity through the combustion or the burning of coal. So this happens kind of in the middle of the country, but acid precipitation doesn't happen right there. So the weather moves these smoky clouds, it moves these pollutants out to the East Coast, where it mixes with the water and the sunlight, and that can create acid precipitation. Now there are multiple impacts. It can impact both the environment and humans. The environment, it can contribute to plant death, because if you have acidic soil, plants can't grow in acidic soil. So it'll lead to the death of plants and also habitat destruction. And for humans, it can damage our human structures. In addition, it can also impact our agriculture. And even though agriculture is plants, it relates to humans because it is our food source. Next, we'll talk about the ozone depletion. So there are different layers of the atmosphere, and there is a layer in the atmosphere, in the stratosphere, called the ozone layer. And ozone is simply O3, 3 oxygen atoms. Ozone depletion is the destruction of this protective ozone layer in the atmosphere from CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, don't worry, don't have to know it, that's found in aerosol sprays and air conditioners. Now CFCs, in the 80s, they noticed an ozone hole in Antarctica. And if we were to reduce this or get rid of this ozone layer, it blocks the harmful rays from the sun. So it blocks the ultraviolet radiation. Much like we put sunscreen on our skin, the ozone layer is our first line of defense from these harmful ultraviolet radiation. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like. These are all ozone molecules. This is an aerosol spray. We don't see chlorofluorocarbons in aerosol sprays any further. But this is basically how it started. So as you spray, you get these CFCs, and the sun's energy hits these CFCs, and it pops off a chlorine atom. And this chlorine atom basically is going through, and they are breaking apart these ozone molecules and assembling them into oxygen atoms. And these oxygen atoms, while you think they might be good because it's producing oxygen for us to breathe, however, it is destroying the ozone. In this area, there's no organisms that are living up in the stratosphere, so this oxygen isn't producing or isn't fulfilling the same benefit. So again, these chlorine molecules or these chlorine atoms can break up these ozone molecules and produce O2. Now this is a bad thing overall, because the impacts to plants or to the ecosystem is it can damage leaves, which makes them unlikely to photosynthesize, and that can lead to the plant's death. And for humans, it can contribute to skin cancer. So I wish that you would respond to this check for understanding. I hope that this video was informative. I thank you for your attention, and I will see you soon.